everybody, how are you doing today? Once again, this is Mr. Watts, and I'm coming to give you a little lesson in music theory today. Alright, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about the basics of music theory, the ground basics. First thing we're going to be starting off with is the staff. This is how a staff looks. And as you see, this staff, it consists of 5 lines and 4 spaces. The definition of the staff is a staff is 5 lines and 4 spaces. That is the most simplified definition that I can come up with. A staff is 5 lines and 4 spaces. That's a staff. That is how you define a staff, and that is how a staff looks. That is how you will write a staff. Now, another thing a lot of people get confused is how we look at a staff. We don't look at music as normal reading, how we read from left to right, top to bottom. In music, we read from bottom to top. So when we're counting, we don't say 1. We don't count from the top going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We count from the bottom going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from bottom to top, that is how we look at the musical staff. Now, moving forward, we're going to talk about the measure. This is a measure right here. You see these 5 lines and 4 spaces. Now, the space between 2 bar lines. See, this is a bar line right here. Now, usually there'll be a bar line on the outside of this. So right here, these open areas, that is a measure. That's a measure. That's what we call a measure, or like when you're rapping and somebody tells you, I got to do a certain amount of bars, a certain amount of number of bars. That is nothing but measures. So, as you see my arrow, it points to the measure. Those are measures. Alright, so let's move on. Now we're going to talk about the bar line. The bar line. Boom. We got the same thing up again. Now, remember that a measure was the space between 2 bar lines. Now, a bar line is a vertical line that divides the measure. So this line right here, that is a bar line. A bar line, a vertical line that divides the measure. So whenever you see these little lines on this staff, that means that the staff has completely turned into measures, and these are the bar lines that's dividing the measures. Alright, now we're going to look at double bar line. Double bar line, right here, you see these? This is nice, 2 little lines, one small line, 1 thick line. Now, these 2 lines are 2 lines that indicate the end of a song. That's what a double bar line is. So when you see these 2 lines right here at the end, that means you're done with the song. There's no more to play. It is over with. We're done. Now, we're going to move on to clefs. First clef is a treble clef. Boom. That's how a treble clef look. What we call it? We call it a fancy S. Looks like a real upscale S. It's fancy. Now, with the treble clef, the definition of it is higher pitch. So usually when we look at a treble clef, we associate treble clef with certain instruments like the trumpet, clarinet, saxophone, flute, French horn. That's what we clarify these instruments with, this treble clef. Those are the instruments that play with this clef. Even SpongeBob know with his high-pitched voice. Alright, now we're moving on. Last but not least is the bass clef. Boom. Look at that. Look like a fancy backwards C with 2 dots at the end. Now, a bass clef means nothing but lowers the pitch. That's all it means. So we associate the bass clef with these instruments, which is trombone, baritone, tuba, we associate those instruments with this clef. These are the lower pitch instrument or lower brass instruments that play this clef. So, thank you for listening in today. I hope all the information was great. Make sure that you are in tune on tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a quiz on the first slide that I gave you. So please report back to the other slides that I have given you. With that being said, thank you and have a great day.